Welcome back. We're about an hour away from the opening bell for Wednesday. Futures have reversed course and are rallying right now. Best performers are NASDAQ. Take a look. It's up 2/3% right now, up 183 points on NASDAQ. The Dow is up 50 and the S&P is up 25. Semiconductor stocks, of course, have had a huge rally in the past year. The stocks are up huge across the board. So the shares of Micron up 762%. Intel up 524%. So these last couple of days of selling are about mounting concerns around debt-funded AI infrastructure build-outs. But these stocks have also been trading so strongly that many were expecting somewhat of a pullback. Micron Technology was down better than 13% yesterday ahead of the quarterly earnings release today. And the earnings are expected to be about $21 a share. $20.78 a share is the estimate from analysts on revenue of $36 billion. The company reports after the close tonight. Going into the numbers, the stock is up this morning 4%. The bigger story may be the guidance and what management says about the AI infrastructure spending and whether or not we're going to see that continue strongly into 26 and 27. Now, Alphabet reversed course as well. It is up right now in the pre-market after leading yesterday's losses. The parent of Google is going to be joining the Dow Jones Industrial Average beginning on Monday. It will replace Verizon. So that stock is up going into that. Cerebras Systems declining after posting a first quarter loss despite revenue growth. This is the chipmaker's first quarterly report since its IPO in May. And since that IPO, the stock is down nearly 30%. Shares now down 8.5% this morning. Joining me now is Allianz Chief Economic Advisor Mohamed El-Erian. Mohamed, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
I want to get your take on the fundamental backdrop, but also on the markets and this run-up. Do you want to say anything about this come down for semiconductors and this rotation that seems to be out of AI and into broader sectors in this market before we get into the backdrop and fundamentals?
So I think everybody understands that what's happening in AI, in life sciences, in robotics, and soon in quantum is a fundamental transformation that's going to enable this economy to grow faster for longer with less inflation. So the economic side, I think, is very clear. The financial side, as usual, the market falls in love with a theme, takes it a little bit too far, and as you said, it has been a straight line up. And we've seen a correction, which I think is a healthy correction. The fundamental arguments for this being a transformational phase in U.S. economic history and U.S. financial history, the fundamental argument is very strong. But the market will be somewhat more volatile given how far it ran and how fast it ran.
Well, we're also seeing situations where there's a lot of hype around a company and they're not even making any money. I mean, SpaceX snapped a 3-day losing streak after falling roughly 24% in 3 trading sessions. That was a cut of about $600 billion in market value. But SpaceX is still valued at $2 trillion, Mohamed. So you've still got some very hefty valuations out there. The stock is down this morning by 1.25%, as you can see.
Yeah, and let's talk about the numbers. SpaceX came, the IPO was 135. It went all the way up to 220. And then at 220, people started scratching their head, saying, what do you mean? Now that's the 4th most valued company in the U.S. above Amazon? That's a little bit too fast. And now we've seen a correction at 154. That's
right. And by the way, we should point out that just a little while after doing an IPO and raising all that money, it is raising an additional $25 billion in investment bonds to finance the debt that aided Musk's X acquisition last year, plus the loans needed for XAI. SpaceX will pay $1.5 billion in interest annually. But, Mohamed, I want to get your take on the backdrop here and how the economy feels to you in America versus the rest of the world. Your thoughts?
So let's start with exactly what you just said, the fact that SpaceX was able to raise that bond issuance. It shows you the depth of the U.S. capital markets, which is a huge edge over other countries, which explains part of why we are consistently outperforming other advanced economies. And we saw the numbers yesterday. The PMIs beat across the board in manufacturing and services. So there is a strong economic engine going on. Part of it is innovations. Part of it is the more traditional economy.
Yeah, it's a great analysis. And Adam Johnson, that's what you're buying into every day, innovation and tech. You're still a believer in this AI trade, right? You've owned NVIDIA for how long, Adam?
Well, I mean, if I wanted to be sort of cute, I'd say too long, except I don't think you can own a stock like NVIDIA for too long. It's a wonderful company, growing significantly. We all talk about it every day, and it trades cheaper than the S&P 500 at about 20 times earnings. Google, Microsoft, Meta, cheaper than the S&P 500. Micron, which reports earnings today, trades at 10 times earnings. So I think there is still significant value. I won't touch the IPOs, but I see so much value in some of these wonderful companies, again, that we talk about every day.
But by the way, the expectations on Micron maybe are the issue, because analysts are expecting revenue growth approaching 300%. And profit growth above 1,000%. So, I mean, the expectations are all the way up here. No wonder the stock was down 13% yesterday. But I digress. Mohamed, I saw you last night at the New York Economic Club dinner. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent spoke at the New York Economic Club dinner last night, and he outlined the administration's economic priorities. I loved what he began with, and he talked about the importance of U.S.-led supply chains. Here's a bite. Watch this.
Economic security begins at home. It begins with the capacity to build, invent, finance, and scale the industries that will define the next century. Among them, semiconductors, AI, quantum computing, advanced manufacturing, shipbuilding, critical minerals, and pharmaceuticals, to name only a few. More than sectors of the economy, these are sources of our national power, and America must lead in each of them. Supply chains are the domain in which that leadership is tested. Yet for years, the question that seemed to consume both our political and commercial class was, where is the lowest cost? That question still matters, but it is no longer sufficient. We must also ask, can this supply chain survive a crisis? Can it withstand coercion? Can it continue operating during a pandemic, cyber attack, war, or financial shock? Supply chain resilience does not require every component to be domestic from beginning to end. That would be unrealistic. It does compel us to know where our vulnerabilities are and to reduce them before a crisis rears itself.
And Mohamed, Scott Bessent did an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal today, headlined "Hamilton's inspires Trump's economic statecraft." As we approach the 250th anniversary of America, he's talking about what Alexander Hamilton did and how it has inspired the president's economic agenda. You were there. What was your reaction to the secretary's remarks?
It was an extremely powerful and well-structured speech.
Yeah.
You know, he pointed out rightly that the country went to sleep when it came to economic security, and economic security is part of national security. And the COVID shock woke us up. And what I would suggest to everybody, because it goes into investment strategy, it goes into corporate strategy, read the 5 points that he said would guide from now on economic policy when we interact with the rest of the world: reciprocity, fairness. And you will understand that this is a transformation where economic outcomes are no longer just a function of efficiency, but they're also a function of national security.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. Mohamed, real quick before you go, with Kevin Warsh's first policy meeting now under his belt, your thoughts on how Kevin Warsh changes the Fed policy?
So I think he set out the 5 areas of reform. You and I have talked about this for years. This Fed is in urgent need of reform if it is to serve the national interest. And I was very encouraged by what he said. The markets, unfortunately, will need some time to adapt to this new Fed. It's a different Fed. It's a more thoughtful Fed. It's a more forward-looking Fed. Unfortunately, last week, the market interpreted him using the Powell playbook. And I think that's going to change going forward.
Well, you had all those 9 governors suggesting that rates could go higher by the year end, so I could understand the sell-off there. Mohamed, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mohamed El-Erian joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.